Hello everyone, welcome again to Mastering Git as a Software Engineer course. In this episode, we will understand how Git works, how to create our first repository, and how to do our first commit. So let's get started. Before creating the repo and the commit, let me explain to you some Git terms and how Git works internally. So the first term is repository. So repository is a container for the project that we want to track using Git. We can create many repositories for the different projects in our computer. And the repository must have .git folder in the root of our project. And it's created automatically after executing git init command. We will see it later in details. Here we have an example with a repo called git course. The repository contains MD files, exercise folder with MD HTML sh files, and another folder called solutions with sh file. We want to track all files in this folder. So that's why we put .git folder in the root of git course repo. So if we do git init into the solutions folder, our git repo will track only the solutions folder. So the location of the .git folder or the execution of git init command is so important to be done in the right location. Second term is commits. So commit is like a safe capture, like backups in system or databases. We can capture a lot of points and we have the possibility to get back to them when we want. A list of commits in a repo represents commit history. For example, if we are working on a project, the team leader will generate first of all the project structure and he wants to capture a copy of the project at this moment. So that's why we created a commit called project init. Then we finish the login feature. So we will capture it in a commit called finish login. Then the same thing for register and so on for other features. With this representation, we are sure that we have project history and we can roll back to any commit using git commands. Git uses a three-tier architecture, refers to three primary areas or stages that files go through in the version control workflow. These stages are the working directory, the staging area, also known as the index, and the repository. Starting with the working directory, which is the local file system where we manage project files. Then, when we use the git add command, as shown in the workflow photo, we will move these files to the staging area, which is an intermediate area between the working directory and the repo. And in this area, we can select candidate files to be committed. And last tier is the repo where Git stores permanently committed changes. It contains a complete copy of the project history including all branches and commits. Each developer working on the project has their own local repository. And to pass changes to repo, we can use the git commit command. Now, after understanding the terms, we will do a quick demo. We will start by creating the project structure, initialize the repo, use git status command, adding files to staging area, commit changes, show history using log command, and ignoring some files with git ignore file. Now let's start the demo part. First of all, I've already created the project structure as shown with the find command. Our git course folder contains some MD files, solution folder, and exercises folder. And now the first step is that we will initialize our git repo. So to do that, we will use git init command. When we execute git init command, this command will create for us in the root of the folder, the .git folder. And this folder is in this folder we have all changes about our Git repositories, for example, branches, commits, and all Git stuff. After initializing our repo, now we will try to understand more git status command. So git status command will show for us the active branch and the changes into the working directory area and the staging area. So after using git status, let's try to add files to our staging area. So to do that, we will execute git add command. So git add command accept third parameter, which is the pattern of the files that we will add to our staging area. We have another parameter which is -a, capital A, and with this parameter we can add all files in our staging area. But we will try to add it. But when using this parameter in our real life projects, be sure to not use the -a. Try, as best practice, try to use the file names to add files in order to not include all files in your staging area and in your commit. So now when we re-execute git status, we have all files in our staging area. Suppose now we want to do a commit with just MD files. So in our case, we have to unstage or revert the exercises folder and solutions folder. So to do that, we have another command which is git reset. And when we use git reset without parameters, we will reset all files. And in our case, I don't want to reset all files, but I want just to reset exercises folder and solutions folder. To do that, we have just to add a pattern as a third parameters to match these files. And now, when I do git status, I have the right files to commit. After staging our candidates files, now we will proceed to commit them. So to do that, we need to execute git commit command. And git commit command accepts a parameter -m to specify our commit message. For example, we will add as commit message add MD files. And be careful, the commit message is not used to add blah 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 or AAAA or we have to put a significant message for all team members in order to get a clean and understandable history. In our case, we will add MD files. And now when we commit, as output, we have the branch, a small hash, and here the name of the commit, and here the number of file changes, the insertions, the deletions, and here create mode if we are creating a new files. So that's it for the git commit command. Now we will, as the project develops, so we have to add some other commit. For example, we try to commit exercises folder. To do that, we have first of all add exercises files with a pattern, and now we will commit them with a commit name exercises folder. And we will do the same for solutions. Git add solutions and git commit add solutions folder. Now in our Git repository we have 3 commits. To show the history of the commits, we can use git log command. So git log command, it will show for us a list of commits ordered by the date for sure. We have the first commit is add MD files, and for each commit we have a unique sha hash, the author for the user who created the commit, and we have the date. And the same for all other commits. After finishing commit commands and git log commands, now suppose in our team one of the developers has built the project, and after building the project, our project, for example, generates, we will simulate that, a bin folder, and inside this bin folder there are, for example, a lot of files. Well, suppose that there is a file called exec, for example. So when we do git status, for sure Git will track this folder, this bin folder. And in our team, we don't want to upload this folder or commit this folder and share it with other developers. So in this case, we need to learn more about the ignoring process of Git. So to ignore files from being tracked, especially for binary files, generated files, we have to add a git ignore file. In my case, I will use Nano as a text editor to create this file. This file should contain a list of patterns to the files or folders to ignore. For example, for me, I will just ignore a bin folder. And now, when I re-execute git status, in the first case, he is tracking bin folder, but now he is not tracking the bin folder anymore. That's git ignore file and his goal. And we need to share this file with all developers in order to not push and not commit in our repository these binary and temporary files. So to do that, we need to add the file to the staging area, and we need to commit it and share it with our team members. Git commit, for example, the message add git ignore, and now we have a new commit which contains the file, our git ignore file. So that's all about how Git works, Git stages, and Git add, commit, revert, and log commands. In the next episode, we will try to understand in detail Git log command, how to navigate into a commit, and how to revert a commit. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.